Now, we will look into the differences of Scrum against the old alternative Waterfall. Waterfall typically goes through a lengthy planning process. This can take several months, followed by building, which can again take many months, followed testing the product, then review and eventually deploying the product. At this point, we may end up bringing the wrong product into the market, as the requirements could have changed. There are several issues in this method. First, the planning has to be completed before anything else. Usually, the planning is done without entirely understanding the project. Once the development is done, things will get back to planning phase. This can lead the project to start over again, or developers would complain the plan is tedious. This can be repetitive. When development is done building the product, it goes back to test. When problems are encountered, it bounces back from development and sometimes back to planning. The same issue can occur repetitively. This can lead to huge delay, weeks, months or even years, just to get the product out. With Scrum, an implementation of Agile, the process is broken into smaller chunks. First, we do just enough planning to get started with. Building the minimal feature set. We build what was planned. Then, we test and review that small feature set and get it ready to ship. When that cycle is completed, we end up with potentially shippable product. This process usually occurs within 1 to 3 weeks. This is then repeated continuously, reducing the time from planning to development to testing. Each time we repeat the process, we do just enough planning to complete the incremental release. We end up with several incremental release called sprints. A sprint usually takes from 1 to 3 weeks. We will then repeat the process until our product is feature complete. At times, we end up shipping the product after second sprint, or third, or even further, but we'll end up with a shipping product. In Scrum, there's 3 key roles. First is the product owner. This person is responsible for defining the features of a product. Then we have Scrum Master. This person protects the team and its processes, like running the meetings and keep things going smoothly. Then we have the team. This includes developers, testers, writers, and anyone involved in developing the product. Team members often play multiple roles. Example, developers could be doing testing or even writing. The team usually works together to get the product done. There are 3 artifacts used in Scrum. First is the product backlog. This is where product owners creates a prioritized list of features known as user stories. This list changes with every sprint. User stories are a way of describing feature set that follows as a "I need," so that. This way the product owner can estimate the right amount of details for each task. The highest priority user story will go into the sprint backlog. This gets estimated for size and are committed for the next sprint. Burn-down charts are used to track progress during a sprint for completion of task in the sprint backlog. This chart should approach 0 point as the work is being completed. There are 3 ceremonies that makes up Scrum. Think of this like a meeting or discussion. Sprint planning is where the product owner, Scrum Master and team meet to discuss the user stories and estimate the relative sizes. Daily Scrum is a brief stand-up meeting where they discuss what they've completed since the previous meeting, what they're working on, and any concerns faced. The sprint review and retrospective occurs at end of sprint. Here the team will demonstrate the completed work to product owner and any ideas on improvement. Let's see how everything works together. Begin with product backlog. This is where list of bright ideas are given by product owner. This will then be prioritized and given to the team. Sprint planning is where the team, Scrum Master and product owner discusses top priority user stories and decides what can go into the next sprint. The output of this will be sprint backlog. This is the same list of user stories that's committed to the next sprint. The entire team will have a solid understanding of the user stories involved based on the sprint planning meetings. The sprint is a 1 to 3 weeks time box where the work committed in the backlog will be carried out. During sprint, daily Scrum occurs as a stand-up meeting. The team will discuss what they've done, pending and any concerns. The outcome of the sprint is potentially shippable product. Now product owner can decide whether it's ready to ship or any additional feature is needed. At the end of sprint, sprint review and retrospective occurs. In review, the team showcases their work to the product owner. In retrospective, the team discusses ways to improve their process. Repeat this workflow for each sprint.